The mist moved like a living breath across the foothills of Kai Province. Dawn touched the tiled roofs of a small mountain village where a lone young man named Haruto walked toward the forest path. He carried no blade, only a bundle of wood and a quiet resolve. For many seasons, he had been the apprentice of an old samurai named Master Kiyomori, a man known for his silence more than his skill. Villagers said the master had once fought in battles that shaped the fate of clans. Yet, in his final years, he chose to farm a narrow strip of land and teach a single student. Haruto had come to him seeking swordsmanship. He expected lessons in combat, strength, and speed. Instead, the master had given him tasks that felt small. Each morning, Haruto swept the temple courtyard with a branch broom that shed its leaves. Each evening, he walked to the river to gather smooth stones. He listened as Master Kiyomori spoke in short sentences that never revealed their full meaning. On this particular morning, snow still clung to the far peaks. Haruto could feel the cold settle through his sandals. The forest path was lined with cedar and cypress. Birds moved in quiet bursts among the branches. When he reached the open clearing, Master Kiyomori was already there. The old man knelt beside a circle of stones arranged with exact spacing. Within the circle rested a single wooden sword placed on folded cloth. Haruto bowed. The master did the same. "Today," Kiyomori said, "we measure your discipline." Haruto remained silent. He wondered what challenge awaited him. Perhaps he would finally train with the sword. Perhaps he would face a trial that would show his readiness. Kiyomori pointed to the wooden weapon inside the stone circle. "You may take the sword, but only after you lift each stone and place it exactly as it was. If you fail to return one stone to its true position, you will wait another season." Haruto studied the circle. Each stone looked identical. Same color, same texture, same shape. Yet the master spoke as if there was only one correct place for each one. Haruto reached for the first stone. It felt rough beneath his hands. The cold of the earth still clung to it. He lifted it slowly and tried to remember every detail. The angle of its resting, the curve of its base, the distance to the next stone. Hours passed, the wind shifted. Shadows moved across the clearing. Haruto placed each stone with as much care as he could. He felt doubt with every movement. His breath grew shallow. His hands trembled. When he finally stepped back, exhaustion pulled at him. Master Kiyomori examined the circle closely. He circled it twice. His fingers brushed the stones with a delicate touch. Then he shook his head. "Two stones are wrong." Haruto felt his chest tighten. He had worked with care. He had focused. Yet he had failed. The old master walked toward him with steady steps. "You wish to learn the sword? But you cannot yet see the world." Haruto bowed his head. He felt the weight of disappointment. He waited for the master to dismiss him, but instead, the old man placed a hand on his shoulder. "Return in spring. Until then, shape your discipline with your own hands." Haruto left the clearing in silence. Behind him, the wind moved through the trees with a sound like distant waves. The snow peaks glowed under the light of the rising sun. Years later, when Haruto finally became a respected samurai known for his unwavering focus, he would remember that morning more than any battle he fought. The lesson stayed with him. Discipline was not a single act. It was the shape of a life. It was the art of giving yourself fully to what the world asked of you. That ancient understanding fades in modern life. Many people move through their days with speed, but without depth. They chase many tasks, but finish few. They seek results, but avoid the process. Silence feels distant. Attention feels scattered. Discipline is often seen as a burden rather than a path. The old samurai masters worked with a different rhythm. Their discipline was not about pressure or force. It was about presence. They trained their minds before they trained their hands. They believed that the smallest action could shape destiny if done with full awareness. One of the principles that connects to this forgotten discipline is Shuhari. This concept guides students through stages of learning, mastery, and transcendence. It explains what true discipline requires and how a person grows through it. Shu means to obey. It is the stage of repetition. You follow the form. You do not question it. You learn by doing the basics again and again. In ancient dojos, students spent years sweeping floors and repeating simple drills. The purpose was not to break their spirit, it was to shape it. Shu builds the foundation of discipline. Ha means to break. It is the stage where you understand the form deeply enough to look beyond it. You start to explore. You adjust. You find your own relationship with the teachings. Discipline becomes internal rather than external. Ri means to leave. It is the stage where you no longer follow the form because you have become the form. You act with natural freedom. You no longer think about discipline because it is woven into your being. This journey reflects how discipline grows through stages. It shows why shortcuts fail. It reveals why ancient systems had power that modern life rarely captures. The world today offers distraction. It offers constant movement. It offers quick outcomes. Shuhari asks for patience. It asks for focus. It asks for a steady mind. There are several teachings within this principle that you can apply to your own life with clarity and consistency. First, build strength through simple repetition. Shu reminds you that discipline begins with the basics. Many people avoid repetition because it feels slow. Yet repetition is the soil where skill grows. For example, a writer who sits down every morning for 20 minutes, even without inspiration, builds a stronger practice than someone who waits for rare moments of motivation. The small daily act creates stability. It creates progress that compounds with time. Second, protect a clear space for focus. In the old dojos, students trained without noise. They cleaned the hall before each lesson. They prepared their minds. This created mental space for discipline. In modern life, you can do this by reducing digital interruptions during important work. A programmer who turns off notifications and commits to one uninterrupted hour finishes more meaningful tasks than someone who stays half-focused. A quiet environment strengthens discipline. Third, face discomfort with calm. Discipline requires you to continue even when tasks feel hard. Samurai understood this. They trained in cold mornings and held static stances until their legs shook. They learned to meet discomfort without frustration. Today, this can look like a student continuing to study even when the material feels complex, or a person returning to exercise after a long pause. When you move through discomfort with calm, you deepen your discipline. Fourth, question the form only after you have lived it. This reflects the Ha stage. Many people try to innovate too soon. They want new methods before mastering the fundamentals. In martial arts, this leads to weak technique. In daily life, this leads to inconsistency. A chef who learns basic knife skills first becomes faster and safer in the kitchen than someone who experiments without foundation. Strong discipline emerges when you respect the form before you transform it. Fifth, let your discipline become natural. The final stage of Shuhari is Ri. You act without forcing yourself. A musician who has practiced scales for years can improvise with ease because discipline has moved from effort to instinct. The same happens in daily routines. A person who has built a habit of planning their day each morning reaches a point where organization feels automatic. Discipline becomes a quiet presence rather than a struggle. Sixth, treat discipline as a relationship with time, not a restriction on freedom. Ancient warriors saw discipline as a way to move with time rather than against it. They woke early, trained with rhythm, and rested with intention. If you view discipline as something that steals your comfort, you resist it. But if you see it as something that shapes your hours into purposeful actions, it becomes a path that supports you. For instance, someone who sets boundaries around their work hours gains more energy for family and rest. Their discipline creates balance instead of pressure. These teachings show how ancient discipline systems worked with human nature rather than fighting it. They built mental strength slowly. They honored consistency. They taught students to respect every action, no matter how small. A samurai did not become strong from desire alone. Strength grew from daily choices that looked ordinary to others. When you apply these lessons today, you reconnect with a quieter rhythm of life. You notice what matters. You act with intention instead of impulse. You treat your time with respect. You move through challenges with steadiness. Modern life often celebrates speed, yet speed without awareness weakens the mind. Ancient discipline teaches the opposite. Move with presence. Build slowly. Grow through effort. Honor the process. The world around you changes, but the structure of discipline remains constant. Imagine a person who wakes each morning and shapes their first hour with care. They set one clear task. They commit to it fully. They set boundaries for distractions. They finish what they start. Over months, their discipline builds confidence. Over years, it shapes the entire direction of their life. This transformation does not require intense motivation. It requires quiet consistency. It requires a mind that returns to its path each time it wanders. Haruto learned this in the mountains. His failure with the stones was not a loss. It was a turning point. He learned that discipline is not measured by strength. It is measured by attention. A stone placed without true awareness reveals the state of the mind. A task finished with presence reveals the state of the spirit. You can cultivate this same presence. You can rebuild the ancient discipline that modern life forgets. Begin with small acts done well. Protect your focus. Accept discomfort. Respect the form. Grow beyond the form. Let discipline become part of who you are. Your life can hold the clarity of a samurai morning. Your actions can carry the steadiness of the old masters. Each choice brings you closer to the person you want to become. Each moment opens a path toward strength. You have the ability to reshape your habits and your future. You have the ability to return to what ancient warriors understood so clearly. Discipline is not control. It is alignment. It is a quiet shaping of your inner world. Walk this path with care. Walk it with patience. Walk it with the calm spirit of those who came before you. Every disciplined act writes a new chapter in who you become.